If you are watching this video, chances are you have purchased one of our specialty quarantine facial in a bag kits. And so I'm just going to be walking you through the steps of that really quickly. Please note that I will not be leaving on all of the products for the full length of time, but please refer to the instructions inside of the kit that you receive, and I will reference about how much time it should be on your skin in this video, so you can just easily set a timer from your phone. More than likely that's where you're watching this video from. And let's go ahead and get started and get right to it. So first things first, you're going to get this disposable headband inside of your kit. So you want to take it out of, it's in a plastic wrap, you're going to take it out, you're going to just pull it on over your head, pull it back, and secure your hair. I went ahead and did mine just to save a little bit of time, and I have my AirPods in, so I didn't want to waste a lot of time or accidentally knock one out while we were working. So let's go ahead and get started with, after securing the hair, we want to go ahead and get the skin very nice and cleansed. Now the first thing that's really going to enhance your experience and make this as close to an at-home treatment as possible is the importance of what we know as the double cleanse or even the triple cleanse. So if you are wearing a good bit of makeup, or if you have a very oily skin type, I would recommend cleansing the skin 3 times. I know that sounds crazy and redundant, but it's really going to work, because here's how we look at it. The first time is to remove anything that's on the skin, whether that's makeup, maybe skincare products. In my case, it's late at night that I'm recording this. I've not had any makeup on all day, but I have had all my skincare on. So I want to take off the skincare that's been on. It's no longer active. It's going to hold on to dust and debris. It's mixed with my natural oils through the day. You can clearly tell I'm already having some crazy quarantine breakout. We're actually going to blame that on trialing some new products. My skin gets really reactive and doesn't like me, and dairy is always my culprit, but unfortunately it's my go-to when I'm super stressed. So don't be like me, don't eat the dairy. But let's go ahead and get started. Everything in your kit is going to be labeled, and so the first things first is I got all my products out. They're down here on my counter, but everything is labeled. It's either going to be in a jar and it's labeled with a 1 on it. I tried to also label, this one doesn't have it, but everything that your kids at home should have a 1 on the bottom of your jar too. You're also going to get these little disposable applicators. It does not take much of this product at all, and this is the first step. This is the cleanser. It's the Urban Undo Cleanser. So I am just going to take about a pea-size amount of that and kind of spread that out on my face, and go ahead and use some water with that. Now the cool thing with this cleanser is that it doesn't get, I'm going to turn my water off and on so you can hear, but it doesn't get super sudsy foamy. Now if I had on a full face of makeup or was super oily and needing to do the triple cleanse, I would probably basically stop here and remove this. But since this is going to be a sufficient cleanse for my skin, I'm going to add a little bit more water. Adding more water, when you work with a professional grade line, you shouldn't need to use a whole lot of product. You're going to keep adding water to it. I don't recommend adding too much water right out of the gate, as that will emulsify your product a little bit too quickly and it won't spread or go as far for you. So we're just going to cleanse. Now, another thing that you can do here during the cleansing phase is we really want to get in here into this. If you have an oily T-zone, make sure that you're getting into the sides of the nostrils here. We're not gouging, just using fingertips very lightly back and forth. I get a little congestion here. Actually, I can even kind of feel that. If you really stop and slow down, you can feel some of that going on in your skin. Around the brows, the forehead. And then if you have concerns with aging or you want to focus on some anti-aging, I wouldn't do this part in the first cleanse, but you can take your knuckles and just very lightly massage. Can you see how it's not really, I have chubby cheeks, but that's not even moving it all of that much. You don't want to dig in there. You just want to very, very lightly. So just kind of work from the corners of the mouth and up towards your hairline. And then make sure to get all the way under the jawline as well, just with fingertips, very light motion. Now, I am going to be using, this is actually from Kitsch. We do retail these as well, but you may have something similar. This looks just like a washcloth. It is not. It is a microfiber, I guess you could say a washcloth. They call it a makeup remover. You could use this to remove your makeup first if you wanted to. If you do not have anything like this or didn't want to use something like this, then we've also included in the kit for you, get one out here, some disposable 4x4s. So I would use one of those and just keep rinsing it out. But I like to save that in case I want to take my mask off. So I'm going to use my makeup removing towel that I use regularly. These come in a 2-pack. And what's great about these is they are microfiber. So they're super gentle on the skin and they're not going to exfoliate the skin. And if you want to just use them with water, you can even take off your makeup or your eye makeup with this. So we don't want to be really aggressive. Now my skin reddens really easily because I exfoliate it a lot, and I have really been exfoliating it a lot with the breakout happening. So I was a little bit intimidated to show you guys this video because my skin is not looking its optimum right now. But then I thought, no, because you guys might be dealing with this at home too with what's going on right now. And I'm going to show you a pointer for step 2. So the next phase, we're going to, like I said, single, double, or triple cleanse the skin. We're going to be going in with our pumice peel. Now the reason I gave you guys this in a little packet is this actually sits upright really easily and doesn't spill out. It's not very liquidy. You can put this in your medicine cabinet at home, and I'm going to use about half of the packet or a little bit less, and it has actual ground pumice in there. So you can feel this when you very first start applying it, like it's got a gritty texture to it. This is going to be like a manual microdermabrasion. Now, I don't push this product a whole lot on my clients because I find that the average client actually over exfoliates. So what I'm going to show you is we want to use not your pointer finger. This finger is really, really strong. So that's going to create, the stronger your finger is, it creates a lot more pressure, tension, as well as it increases the exfoliation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pads of my middle and my ring fingers, and I'm just going to very lightly go in circular motions. Now can you see again, my skin should not really be moving a whole lot. If it is, that means you're scrubbing too hard. And we just want to do a pass, and a pass, and then here. If you start feeling it burning a little bit, you're doing too much, you need to back off. Now here I've had some breakout, and over here that skin is healing. It's red. It's telling me I need help, I need a break, I need to protect myself. So if you notice, I'm not going to exfoliate right over those areas a little bit. So if you've got 1 or 2 areas, and usually if you're battling with hormonal breakout or things like that, then you know you're going to know what I'm talking about here. So I'm just going to very, very lightly, and I'm just doing a little bit more through my cheek area, but again, you can see my skin is not moving. There's not heavy friction there. Now, if your skin is a lot more sensitive and this is going to be a little bit much for you, you could actually mix just a smaller amount of this with your cleanser. That will buffer it down. What does that mean? It means it makes it more gentle on the skin, and you wouldn't want to scrub it around on your face as much. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to remove this. We can go back in with a microfiber washcloth. We could be a little messy and rinse it off with our fingertips. But what I actually like to do, I'm going to show you guys what you can do with a towel and make your own warm towel compress at home. And this is the perfect time to do it in. So I just have a clean hand towel, not one we've been using, but a clean one from my house. And I'm going to fold this in half lengthwise. You guys can see it. And then I'm just going to roll this up. Okay, so we've got a rolled up hand towel. I'm going to stick this under warm water, and I'm going to saturate the towel completely. Now this product on your face, it's a physical exfoliant, it's not chemical, so it can hang out on there for a while. That's one of the reasons I wanted to give you guys a physical exfoliant. That way you could feel it working. You'd have a little bit more control. You would know if you're scrubbing a little bit hard, and it could stay on your face as your water was warming up in your sink. So I am just squeezing the water out, and then we want to unroll it. And then all we want to do is make sure that it is not scalding hot. So the way that we test these in the treatment room is touch the insides of your wrist like this. If it's really hot on your wrist, you need to let it cool down a little bit. It's too hot. You just want it to be warm, maybe a little bit steamy, but not hot on the skin. Touch again. Okay, that feels a lot better. If it still doesn't feel better, give it another shake, give it a minute, and then you can put it on. And then I'm gonna take this towel, and it's gonna look a little crazy here, but you can actually do this, and you can kind of lay down on your bed and chill for a minute if you want to, or whatever, in your bathroom floor, it doesn't matter. I'm going to drape this over my face. I'm gonna be leaving my nose out. So you guys watch this, and then up. Just like that. So you can steam your face for just a moment, and then I'm gonna take this towel and remove all of the product. So we're gonna go over the brow, and then I'm gonna inch in a little bit and find a clean spot to work with. Down the nose, out to the temple, 2 swipes over the top lip, around the sides of the nose. Then I'm going to use one side here, and just make sure that all of that product is removed. And then what you can do is you can actually flip over to the other side. This is clean, it's devoid of any product. So you can just make sure, and I would recommend with this exfoliant that you remove all of it. Because the next thing we're gonna do is really massage in some products. So now we've deep cleansed the skin. The Urban Undo is great because it removes pollution. And a lot of you might be thinking like, I'm in my house, but your house actually is one of the most polluted places that we can be. And the only thing I mean by that is just because of natural dust in the house. Our dead skin cells are flaking off, you know, it's sucking in your HVAC system is like sucking in outside air to be able to work, that kind of thing. It's bringing in a lot of dirt, debris. I know a lot of people, the weather's been nicer, so we're outside in our flower beds and our gardens, and you know, that's a great time to be out there, but a lot of times between our sweat and oil mixture and then just being dirty and kind of rubbing our face, it can really make our skin and our pores a little icky just because of that extra debris lodges in there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my toner bottle, and I'm going to apply this liberally. So I try to give everyone a spritzer toner. I put 7 spritzes, but you can actually do more than that. So I'm just going to close my eyes, and I'm going to kind of hold my breath like I would be diving into a pool, and we're going to spritz all over. All right. So I have my little sample vials lined up. The first thing I'm going to use is the Pepti Lift. So I'm going to open that, and I'm going to be dumping out about half of the contents and snapping it back. Rub together. Half of that is very liberal for home use. Now normally when we sell you guys a bottle of that and retail it to you, we do not recommend that much. Maybe 3 to 5 drops, but... And you're gonna know here if you removed all of your scrub or not. So you shouldn't really be feeling anything on your fingers at this point. If you are, use a little 4x4 and kind of wipe down now and get those little granules off of there. Because if we keep massaging them around, then we're continuing to exfoliate the skin, and we don't want that. We've already done that part. So we're just gonna massage this in for about a minute. And I know right now a lot of people, I like to get this massaged all over the face before I actually start working on any acupressure. And you know what, let's do that on the next product. I'll show you how you can do it. You can do this on either one, or you can do it on both, depending on how stressed out you are right now. I know some of us are super stressed out. Some of us are kind of enjoying the time with family, with our kids anyway, and just being at home and being caught up. And I know other people, this is really weighing on you. So we want to take this time to really do something for ourselves. It's good for our skin, but it's good for our psyche too. So the next thing I'm going to use is the Pepti Tone, and same thing, I'm going to pop that open. I'm going to use about half the vial, close it back, and then we're going to start massaging that in over top of it. Now, these are pure peptides. This is clinical strength, medical grade skincare. These products are amazing. I'm not going to lie, they don't always smell best. But that doesn't mean that they're not working or that they're bad or anything like that. So let's start, now that we've got this massaged in, the tone is really like Botox in a bottle. So let's make sure I've got my product applied here. If you're dealing with a lot of sinus pressure, I want you to put your fingers right here on the sinus cavity, and specifically with the ring finger, kind of lift up just a little bit, and you should be able to breathe better almost instantly, and release, and up, and release, and then I want you to scoop under your sinuses. Oh, better already. And then we also can do a little bit of massage work around our eyes. And notice that I'm using my ring finger here. So I just want to, there is a spot right in here. You'll find out when you hit it. That, and then we're gonna just kind of pivot here and hold. And that just releases so much tension. And then we're gonna scoop under each brow, and then don't really drag, you don't wanna use a lot of pressure here, but we just wanna apply lightly for some product. And then press in, release, and scoop under the brow. I'm gonna do that one more time. Try to do things in threes too, or also I should say. We're just going to use our ring finger right here in the middle, nice and slow, and then work up the forehead. There you go. Slide out to the temple. Now I'm going to use my ring and my middle finger, but my middle finger is doing most of the pressure work here because this area can stand a little bit more pressure. And if you suffer with migraines, TMJ, anything like that, you just clench your jaw naturally. You're going to feel a lot of release of pressure there. And then same thing back here right in front of the ear. This is the tragus. And then we don't want to push around too hard here under, because especially if you don't know what you're doing with the lymph nodes, but you can just do a little bit, and then I like to sweep back under and then come down the sides of the neck. So there's just a little bit of some acupressure massage. Hopefully that will get you guys through, and hopefully we do a better job massaging your face when you're on our treatment table. But again, hopefully that'll kind of get you guys through. So the next thing I'm going to apply is actually the eye serum. And again, I'm going a lot more, liberal with my product use here than I would normally recommend. I'm gonna try to get this worked up into my fingertips. So I'm gonna apply this all the way around the brow. Pick up a little bit more product because I was very liberal with that. And then I'm just gonna do like a press and hold underneath the eye area here. So we're pressing middle finger. Notice I'm not shifting or moving the skin around. I'm just sort of pressing that product in. And same thing here. So the cool thing about these products, these peptides and the way they work together, again, ring fingers, just little tiny massages. The Pepti Lift, as we get older, our skin cells have a little bit more space in between them. And it's just because everything is thinning and we don't have all of that support structure underneath that we had when we were younger. So first we've deep cleansed the skin and cleared the path and made everything, got rid of all the dirt and the oil so the product can go to work. Then we've used the pumice peel exfoliator, and that is clearing the dead skin, the stratum corneum on the surface. Also, that has a tendency to get in the way to not let the product do the job they need to do. Next, we applied the Pepti Lift, then the Pepti Tone, and now we are doing the Pepti Eye Serum. All of these things are very targeted to anti-aging, but what's great about these is even if you suffer with breakout or a little bit of acne, all of these peptides are wonderful to use if you have acne concerns, but also anti-aging is your other primary concern. The Pepti Eye Serum has caffeine in it. Caffeine acts as a vasodilator, so if you battle with puffy eyes, there are very few things that really help with puffy eyes. Anything cold is going to help. So you could here use, if you have a jade or a rose quartz roller, I know that we retail those, but a lot of people already have them. If you don't and you want to use a makeshift, you can take 2 teaspoons, bring those into your session with you, run them under cold water, and then you just lightly massage that over top of this eye serum. The cold is going to create a constriction then. So the caffeine is a vasodilator bringing blood flow. When the blood flow comes up, it gets that lymphatic fluid moving. And then the cold is causing an immediate constriction. So again, it's helping to shift and move all of that excess lymph fluid that gets trapped around the eye area. If you don't have, if that never like waxes and wanes with you, if you always have like a bulge under the eye area and it never like gets larger and then smaller, you know, depending on a product that you have on, or if it's in the morning or the afternoon or evening, or if it's not changing based off of what you eat, like if you eat a lot of salt, that is probably a herniated fat pad, and that needs to, you know, only be surgically removed. But if you notice that I wake up in the morning puffy and then it goes down, that is excess lymphatic fluid, and those are a couple good tricks to get rid of it. Just light pressure, and then also something like a caffeine or niacinamide product for the eye area, and something cold to kind of massage with. So now that we have this on, I am going to go ahead and go in with we're sending you a packet of our Collagen Rehab. Now this is actually a facial mask, but I have included this as a lip mask because I know on my skin actually does not like the Collagen Rehab mask because it does contribute to breakout for me. If I were a drier skin type though, or had a lot of skin laxity, a lot of dullness in my skin, this would be perfect for you. So you can use this as a face mask as well. So I'm going to use about a pea-size amount. It was in a packet. I should show you that. So again, just like the pumice peel, you can actually set this upright and you're going to get way more than 2 uses out of this if you just use it for the lip area. So I'm going to split that up, and I'm just going to apply that liberally to my lip area. You'll notice immediately like, oh, something's familiar about that. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't sting, but it has peppermint. There is also, this looks funny on, it's actually kind of clear, but if it's clumpy, it looks funny. Peppermint, wintergreen, and spearmint are in this. And it's a really cool combination product. The thing that first jumped out at me when they were launching this product, and notice I just have like a clean towel that I keep over here just to kind of wipe my hands down with in between each step. But the first thing that jumped out when they launched this mask, this is from BioElements, and this is something that we retail a lot. Again, our drier skin clients, our clients that have dull skin, they're really looking to perk up their skin. This is an awesome treatment that you can use on your whole entire face. I don't recommend this close to the eye area because of the peppermint that's in there, but it's awesome on lips because it makes them a little fuller and plumper, and it's great on your skin too because it's a vasodilator. But there is a mango extract in here, and what's cool about mango extract is that certain components of the mango fruit, they very much mirror and mimic your skin's natural lipids. So that's again why it's, if you have a drier skin that's just kind of dull and you tend to be like dry, dehydrated, don't really battle with breakout, this is awesome for your whole entire face. So I would put it everywhere except for the eye area. I went ahead and applied that. I'm going to leave that on. And then the next step that I'm going to do, step number 8, is my facial mask. And this is actually one from our acne line that we decided to give you guys. Again, I've got my little disposable applicators, and I'm going to use about half of what I have provided for you guys. So I need to get just a smidge more out of there. This is from Face Reality. It is our acne line, so you're probably thinking, why are you using an acne mask? And just in case we had a client, that was purchasing one of these that battles with a little bit of breakout, but even if not, this is our Brighten C mask. So I am going to apply this with fingertips, but you may have purchased a kit that came with a brush. So you could always scoop some of this out on the back of your hand and then dip your brush in there and then apply it this way. And I would also not recommend getting this too close to the eye area either. This does contain ascorbic acid, so this is a little bit more potent form of vitamin C. This is going to be great for brightening the skin. It's great for lines and wrinkles. This also has several other ingredients. I'm trying to think of what else is in there that's good. The vitamin C is the big one. It's in a gel/cream base. So it is going to be slightly hydrating to the skin, but at the same time, it's not leaving the skin greasy, and there's absolutely nothing in here that clogs pores. So this is going to be ideal for these little guys which are actually healed. This is post-inflammatory erythema, or PIE. It's something that a lot of people don't talk about. But after you have a breakout, it's very, very common. And I was using a lot of benzoyl peroxide, so that's going to make a lot of extra redness in my skin, especially right now. Because these were almost cystic in nature. So I was having some pretty crazy stuff going on. For anybody that doesn't know, my husband suffered what we thought was a heart attack the week before the coronavirus hit. So I was in the hospital with him. Of course, there was no place I would rather be, but I desperately wish that I would have had my cleanser a little bit earlier. My sister-in-law was a godsend and brought it to me. But unfortunately, I didn't get my cleanser in time. And so between that and the stress, then, then of everything with this too. So, and then like I said, I was trialing some new products, and I just know every time I try some new products, my skin behaves badly. So I know exactly which clients can use the new products, and I know that I cannot. So now I've applied this all over my face. What I would recommend at this point in time doing is you can lay down and kind of chill for a few minutes. This is going to stay on anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. If you apply this and you're starting to feel like, ooh, that feels a little hot in some places, because we have done a little bit more aggressive exfoliation, physical exfoliation, then I would suggest leaving this on for about a minute. And if it's still feeling hot, then go ahead and remove it with cool water. That's really important. And then go back in with some of the toner, just spritz, 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 keep it calm. You can also take an ice cube and rub over that. That's a good trick too if you have a blemish that you're trying to get that to subside. I was definitely ice rolling a lot. You can use a jade, a rose quartz roller over this, an actual ice roller. We have all of those things available, or like I said, you may already have one at home. But regardless, we want to leave this on the face about 10 to 15 minutes as long as we're not feeling any irritation. So if you're still feeling like it feels a little irritated after a minute, then we want to go ahead and take it off. But for most people, sometimes you'll feel a little bit of activity in that first minute. It's normal to feel a little bit of just mild activity with this mask because of the ascorbic acid. So the way that vitamin C works, I'm not going to leave this on the full 10 minutes, but I did want to school you just a little bit on the vitamin C. Ascorbic acid, it is a little bit more aggressive form of vitamin C, but it is a great form. That's why I like recommending this one in a mask formula. You would not want to use this mask every single day, even if you have really resistive skin. So I would recommend this if you have thicker skin. You can do this one 2 to 3 times a week. If you have more sensitive skin though, you can still use this mask and just use it 1 time a week. And that's adequate for you. I would do it at night on clean skin. Again, about 10 minutes is all that you need, not too close to the eye area. Remove it with cool water and you're set and you're good to go. So yeah, we would leave this on. You can kind of lounge and chill for the first 5-10 minutes. Those last 5 minutes, if that's when you wanted to do some cold rolling over top of it, that's perfectly fine. At this point in time though of the facial, this is usually when we start kind of bringing down the temperature of the facial, because a lot of times we're using heat and steam and exfoliation early in the treatment. There's a reason for that. And then towards the end of the facial, to leave you with that nice healthy glow, we actually want to use cooler water. So after this has been on the skin for about 10 to 15 minutes, we can go back in with another towel and do a cool towel removal at that point in time. I would have 2 towels in that case if you've used one to remove your pumice peel. Or you can, again, if you wanted to opt to use your 4x4s. And I'm going to run them under just cold water and really squeeze the water out of these. Now the cool thing with this mask, with it being more of like a gel cream, it's also hydrating, so you don't really have to have a moisturizer on over top of this. If you did this treatment in the morning, 100% use an SPF. You used ground pumice on your face, so and you have vitamin C on, which is a great antioxidant, but it works so much better if you have an SPF on over top of it. So note that I am just removing my mask here first. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and remove my lip mask. Okay. No, we don't want to scrub it off. We don't want to use our cleanser over top of that. And the reason for that is we've got, I applied our serums first. So I don't know if anybody realized or recognized that, but that's actually one of my signature treatments. I've always disagreed with the majority of estheticians and skincare professionals in that regard. And I think that's one of the reasons why my clients get really good results is we do what BioElements calls it a power treatment. But that's actually how I have my clients do their products at home, is I'd have them go ahead and apply their serums first, and then we mask over top of it. A mask like the Brighten C, now typically in your home care routine, if you were using a vitamin C serum, it's gonna have a thinner consistency, so it's gonna go on like before your moisturizer or before anything that could be a little bit more emollient or occlusive, like a mask. But in this case, since we were masking and doing the facial, we wanted to really use our serums and our active products to give us the full benefit of the treatment. So we used that and massaged it in to get full benefit. And then, like I said, you can cold roll over top of that. And then by using the mask over top of that even, it sort of seals everything in, is kind of how that works. If we wanted to remove the mask and then go back with more serums, you could do that, but just know that there's going to be traces of that mask that are left behind, which is okay. It's fine to do that. In this particular case with this mask, so with some masks you need to make sure to remove all of them, but with this mask it's okay to have some traces of it left behind. We just remove the majority of it. However, with traces of it left behind, if we go in with more serums or other active products, they could either interfere with each other depending on what other serums you put with it, or it's going to get in the way and not let the serums fully penetrate in between skin cells, so you're not getting as much benefit. So hopefully you guys learned a few things with this. The one other thing I will talk about here, actually two other things really quick. You did get a free sample of a hair mask in here. I opted not to show you that tonight, but that's something that you can use. You can actually, what I would do is I would get down to where you've got your face mask on. If you're doing this like in the tub, you can go ahead and run your bathtub water, get your lip mask on, face mask on, get in the bathtub, get your hair mask in, and then you are set. You're golden, and then you can just kind of rinse everything off in the bathtub even. Just keep those 4x4s close, and then that way it'll help you get that mask off. The other thing that I want to tell you about is you have enough in these kits to do at least 2 facials, if not 3. So what I would recommend doing is if you have a kit with the brush, then you want to take your brush and you want to run that under warm water and just use some of your antibacterial hand soap and just kind of suds up your brush a little bit and then rinse that completely, so all of the hand soap is out of that. Thank you so much for supporting our team through this time. This is something that I hope that you guys can benefit from. These products we have available all the time, so you can absolutely, if you love them, we would love to see you make a purchase on one of the full size of these. But if not, I hope that you at least enjoyed this little treatment and to kind of hold you over until you can get into your esthetician for your next spa treatment. Thank you so much, and we hope that everyone is staying safe and well, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.